And now, on with the show.
My story of how I became a feminist is for next year's TED Talk. Because today I want to talk about some of the cases that I've been doing that have made me ask, what is justice? I should know because I'm a lawyer. But some of the cases that I've handled recently have challenged my notion of what I was taught justice is. One of the cases is of little Shadia. She's a girl 6 years old in Uganda whose stepmother punished her for not washing the dishes by getting a stick and wrapping it with a polythene of a kilo of sugar, and shoving the stick up Shadia's vagina. She wanted to pull out the stick and it didn't come out, so she pushed it back. So by the time I met Shadia, she was incontinent. She had fistula. She was passing feces and urine. So of course, as a lawyer, I am taught you fight for justice. We were able to get conviction for the mother. She got for the stepmother. She got 5 years imprisonment. When I first went to see Shadia, I thought, who is this woman? Who can do this to a little girl? And I found that her stepmother is 18, meaning she's barely a child as well. So she's out there in prison. Is that rehabilitating her? Let's leave that alone. Back to Shadia. So Shadia still has this condition. So is the 5 years imprisonment justice? Or is justice enabling Shadia to heal? Is justice also enabling Shadia's mother to heal? Shadia's mother is barely 22, meaning she too had Shadia when she was 18. So you have a child looking after a child. Shadia's mother is shattered and traumatized by her daughter's trauma. So what is justice? It must be more than just a prison sentence. We must fight that we heal the whole, put back this person who has been violated. Another story we all know about that broke recently was of the 23-year-old girl who is alleged to have been gang raped. I met Mbabazi. I visited her several times in Mulago Hospital. She was a tiny, tiny girl. And she was in pain, and she was crying, and she was just wondering how her life got to that. Because all she wanted was a job, but someone took advantage of that and put her in that condition. So I visited Mbabazi over several weeks. My office arranged that we would take food for her, and sometimes it would just be to sit and just cry with her and be with her. And so yes, justice tells me, go after the culprits, 2 are in prison, 3 are still at large. But is that justice? Is that justice? One time I was at my desk and Mbabazi calls me. She says, she used to call me Aunt Jackie. Aunt Jackie, the pain is too much. I just want to die if you do not come. Now, she was on the 5th floor. She said she was going to throw herself to the ground to commit suicide. So I dropped everything that I was doing and I ran just to sit with Mbabazi and hold her. And so even if we get a conviction and they are sentenced to jail, is it justice for Mbabazi? That's what I've been asking. And how can we focus not just on the statistics of how many people we've jailed for violating women, but focus on how do we rebuild these shattered lives. An image came to me. How many of us have ever broken a glass? Or how many of us have seen a glass break? It shatters and scatters, okay? And that's what a woman who is violated becomes, a shattered glass. So justice is just one piece of this shattered life. And so we celebrate, these are the number of convictions we have, and we leave the woman to sweep these shattered pieces and try to make something out of it. And sometimes it's difficult. So we need to do more. Psychosocial support is important. We need to do more to just create spaces where women can go and be well and be whole. The last case I'll share is of Sharifa. She was a 16-year-old girl. Her story appeared in the New Vision, and someone inboxed me the story on my Facebook page. And I ran to Chira Road Police Station. What the newspaper story didn't say, she was 16 years old, walking home. She was staying in Chebando. And as she walked in a dark place, she heard someone running after her. And as she ran away, a man, tackled her, toppled her, and was attempting to rape her. She felt around in the ground, found a stone, picked it up, hit him, and just ran to the light, to the shops that were nearby. Unfortunately, the man died, and so, she was in prison. So I went to see her at Chira Road Police Station. What the story didn't say was that this 16-year-old was pregnant. She was 8 months, sleeping on a bare floor in a police cell. What I found out is that in the police cell, because of shortage of resources, they bathe once every 2 days, and they eat once a day at 4 p.m. And if you miss the meal, you wait for the next day. And so I spoke to the police there, and I said, this is a pregnant woman. I spoke to the police lady that was guarding the female cell, and I said, you know what it's like for a woman to, even taking 1 day without bathing is bad enough. 2 days? So she said, well, there are the jerry cans, go fetch water. I said, that's no problem. I went and fetched water for Sharifa. I organized with my office, we took food for Sharifa because we said she's a pregnant woman, she needs to eat. She needs to eat. So yes, we count in our books, we are going to convict her, but is that justice? Is that justice? I think we need to rethink justice. I think we need to not just care about how many people are convicted, but how many lives are rebuilt. That is when we will count justice to have been done. And so I am on a campaign to drum this message in the Ministry of Justice, in the Justice, Law and Order sector, that we need to rebuild lives. Justice cannot be about filling prisons. Justice must be about rebuilding lives. Thank you.